everyone, and welcome back to Stylish Naija YouTube channel. I want to say thank you to all of my subscribers. Thank you guys for subscribing to my channel. I thank you for your love, for your support. If you are new to the channel, you're welcome. And if you have not subscribed to my channel already, what are you waiting for? I would appreciate for you to hit on the subscribe button. It actually takes nothing for you to subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would really appreciate that. And then hit on the bell also on the side to get an update whenever I upload a new video. And then you can see a join button also written on the channel. You can also click on that join button and then see to become a member of Stylish Naija channel here on YouTube. So that's just like basically the essence of that. And then okay, before we continue, in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to cut and sew an off-shoulder corset with an inbuilt corset. So that's what we are going to learn how to cut and sew today. And this video, I'm making it strictly for beginners. I'm going to make it as detailed as possible. So that's what we are going to be learning how to cut and sew today. If you find this video helpful, please hit on the like button. And if you find it helpful, yes, I wanted to say if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Yes, that's actually what I wanted to say. And then if you want to register for my online classes, you can just see my number scrolling through the screen. You can send me a message on WhatsApp. I'll give you the details of all of the classes we have presently available. And then you can follow me on all of my socials: Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, Threads, all at Stylish Naija. Okay guys, so let's get started. So this is the fabric that I'm going to be making use of. It's about 2 yards, but I'm not going to be using all of the 2 yards. So let's just get started straight into our tutorial for today. Please like this video. I really want you to like it. Okay guys, so this is the material that I'm going to be making use of, this fabric. So I have, it's almost 2 yards of fabric, but I might not use up to 2 yards. So this is a basic bustier tube pattern. So in case you don't know how to draft this, so I didn't want to start this video from scratch, as in that's from pattern drafting, so it will not be too long. So I'm going to drop a what do you call it, a link, yes, on the description box. So I have so many of these patterns on my channel, so I'll drop it. So this is the back pattern and then this is the front pattern. So I'm going to show you what to do. So the first thing we're going to do now, so these are all of the lines. This is our chest line, this is our bust point line, under bust, and then this is our waist line. So this is the full, this waistline, and then this is, I added about 6 inches to my length. Okay, I'm going to use it for the basque. So the next thing, and so this is the back cup that I'm going to be making use of, and then I have my boning also. So the next thing we're going to do now, I'm going to cut open this pattern. So you can use any bustier pattern of your choice, really. Okay, so after cutting open, I'm going to pin it down. So we're going to create our cups. We're going to create our cups from here. So I'm just trying to make sure that this stays still straight. Okay, so you can see what we have. So I just laid it. It's a very simple process. So the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to check, I'm going to measure 1 inch. So this 1 inch is for the center part of our pattern. So I hope you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to come here on the top of my chest line. I'm going to mark 1 inch like this. So we're trying to create out the cups right now. So that 1 inch, I'll mark it up to my under bust line, and then I'm going to connect it with my straight ruler. So why I'm using 1 inch, because I want to have boning chambers there. So that is why. So you can actually use half of an inch, depends on how wide you want the center of your corset to be. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to check how many inches do I have between my bust point line and my under bust. I have 3 inches. Okay, so that 3 inches now, here's what I'm going to do. So this is the 3 inches. So I'm going to place the 3 inches here. So as I place the tape here now, and then mark that 3 inches here. So that 3 inches, you can see I'm just blending it into this point. And then from my under bust line, here's what I'm going to do. So you can see I've successfully created out one cup one. I've created out one. You can see it's very simple. So I've marked that so you can see my cups are ready. So the next thing I'm going to have, so here I'm not going to use 3 inches for this side because around our armhole side, that's the armpit area, our bust is usually fuller. So for that part, I'm going to use 3.5 inches. So for this measurement I'm using is because this is a bust 36. If from bust 40 above, when you check the difference, you notice that the difference is going to be more than this 3 inches. That's between your under bust and your bust point. It's going to, so whatever you have, that's what you will use. Okay, so I mark the 3.5 inches there now on that point. So that 3.5 inches, you can see I'm blending it into the under bust part, and then from this point I'm going to take it like this. So at the end of the day, you can see I've succeeded in, it's a very simple process. I have my corset cup, my corset is ready. Very simple and easy. So when I see people shouting about corsets, it's just once you create it out, the next thing is to sew it. So the next thing we're going to do now, after this, the next thing we're going to do now is I just want to add more boning lines here. So I'm going to add one boning here, and then one boning is going to be here, also this center. One boning is going to be here, and then here. So for this one, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to check. I'll just take the center like this. Okay, so this is my back pattern. I want to show you something. So if you notice, this is my back pattern. My back, the length of the back pattern is 18. So I added extra inches here because I want to create a basque waistline. So this is the inches that I used. So I used about 7 inches. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to mark my basque from this point. So I'm just going to come down a little bit by half of an inch. And then from that half of an inch, so you can create your basque however you want to create it. So you can see what I'm doing. It's a simple, very simple process. So I'm trying to get the right, okay. So that is simple. So the next thing I'm going to do now on this part, I'm going to add a neckline. So for the neckline, I'll do that. I'm going to add a neckline. So in adding a neckline, I want a sweetheart neckline. It's a very simple process. So I'll come to this point like this, and then I'm going to use 3 inches. So I mark the 3 inches here, and then from this point, I'm going to, okay, let's check because I use 6 inches. So I want it, I don't really want it, I want it a little bit deep. So I'll use 8 inches. That's the depth of my neckline. So from this point, you can see what I'm doing. I'm doing this, and then from here, I'm just going to blend it into this point like this. So it's a simple process. So if you want a very covered corset, you don't have to add this neckline. You can just leave your corset. This corset like this, if you sew it, it's going to cover your chest nicely and properly. It's not going to expose, but this one that I'm doing now is going to expose a little bit. So this, I'm just trying to blend this into the armhole area. So you can see with this now, the armhole came down more, the chest, they came down more. So the corset will be open a little bit. So that's just that. So now let's cut this out. So I'll cut out the cups now. So this is how you cut it out. So don't cut it on the exact line. So I'll just come up a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to label. I'm going to have to label this. don't run into any problem. This is one, this is two. So I'll cut out two of these and then two of this. So the next thing now is for me to transfer to all of this to my fabric. So I'll transfer to my fabric and my lining the back pattern, this pattern, and then this is what we're going to use for the cups. As I'm going to cut this out and then we'll use it to cover the cup. So you can see it's a simple process. So I'll do that and then come back and show you. I'll do that, iron my interfacing on it. I'm going to iron soft gum stay on my fabric and on my lining. Then we'll go over to the machine and start stitching. So the next time you see me, we'll be on the machine to start joining everything together. Okay guys, so you can see this is my fabric. So I've ironed my hairstay on the fabric. So this is my back pattern. So the next thing, I'm going to cut open the dart leg. Okay guys, so I'll take this back to my machine now and then I'm going to go and stitch. So I'll stitch this. This is the center piece of the front. I've opened it, so I'll stitch it close also. I'll just do stitch everything close. I'll be closing with about half inch, so I'll be able to insert boning into those lines. So that's what I'll do. I'll do that and bring it back and show you. Okay guys, so after joining, so I've joined the back, so this is the front, so I've joined the side. So the next thing is for me to join them together. So when I'm joining, I'm going to use about 2 inches, that's about 1 inch. So I'll use that part for my boning structure, just like I did for this center. So you can see from this allowance, so after stitching I stitched it down. So I'm going to pass my boning through this part. So the same thing I'm going to do with this side. When I join, I'll leave like about half of an inch so that the boning will be able to pass through. So I'll do that and then insert the boning. And then before we continue, so we're going to work on our inbuilt corset so you can see the parts. Okay guys, so I have a little bit of explanation to do. So after cutting open my dart leg for my back pattern, I decided to go and stitch it back. You understand? So I decided to close it back. So the allowance that I have here is what I'm going to use for my boning case. So to make it easier before we create out the inbuilt corset, so to make it easier, that's why I did that. So the next thing, I'm going to place this like this. So in order for us to create out the inbuilt corset, normally when you are creating a back and panel for your corset, that's when you want to use back loops of or eyelets. All you are going to do, you make sure that first of all you are not going to add the zip allowance to it, to your pattern, and then after that you are still going to reduce it. You can decide to reduce it by 2 inches. So for instance, if my zip allowance is 2 inches, I can still decide to reduce it by another 2 inches just to have space. Okay, so for this now, what we are going to do now, we are going to reduce our corset. So I'm going to check how many inches I have for my zip allowance. So my zip allowance, I have about 1 inch. So that 1 inch, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to add 2 inches to it. So this 2 inches is what I'm going to use for to create my back case. So normally when sewing a corset, if you don't want to add zip to it, you can cut as much as 3 inches out from your original pattern. Okay, so the next thing we're going to come to now, so the down depends on how wide I want it to be, so it's not going to reach up or down. So the next thing now, I'm going to, you can actually eyeball this however you want to eyeball it. So for this, I'm just going to take those points. So you can decide to use between your under bust, your chest line or your bust line. So you can use that. You can use that. So for this, I'm not going to use my chest line. So I'm going to use just a little bit, like 1 inch above. This is my bust point line. This is my under bust. So I'll use just 1 inch above. So this is optional. What I'm doing now is optional. You can shape it however you want to shape it. Okay. So I'm going to come up by 1 inch. So I'm just going to mark it into this point like this, mark it to the edge. And then I'm going to use my waistline for the down one because I need that snatch part. I need for it to snatch much, so much. So we'll cut that off now. And then, so I need to tape this back down. So that's 3 inches. I'm going to cut off that 3 inches. So I came up by 1 inch for my bust. And then for the down part, I'm going to use my waistline. So I'm going to cut this from my waistline. So at the end of the day, you can see what we have. So by the time I sew this now, so this part now, you can see it's going to snatch. That we're going to create loops here that is going to snatch the waist inside. So you can still decide to reduce it more, but this is okay by me. So I hope you understand. So I came up 1 inch, and here I used the waistline measurement for the down part. So you can do it however you want. So the next thing, I'm going to cut this in my fabric, and then I'm going to create loops inside of it. So I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so I'm going to explain how to sew this for you. So you can see what I have is something like this. Okay, so I'm going to take this, I'll cut it out, I'll use double of this, and then I'll cut this out, and then sew. And then on this zip allowance part, I'm going to create this on it. So you can, if you don't want to use this, you can decide to use eyelets on it. So this is just exactly what I'm going to do. So the video is getting too long, so that's why I just decided to explain this to you. So that's what I'm going to do. And then on this part, you can decide to add a boning to it, or that's on the that side, to give it more structure. So just add boning on it. So I'll do that. And then the next thing, we are going to start coupling the back and the front together. So normally I don't want to do an inseam finishing, so I'm going to just sew my lining. I'll sew and turn. So I'll just do sewing and turning. So that's what I'm going to do for this. So I'll do that. Okay guys, so after stitching, so I've joined everything together so you can see how it is. So the next thing, my bra cup. So I've cut out the bra cup, 2 pieces here, 2 pieces here, and then this is the lining. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take one piece from here and here, and then I'm going to join them like this. That is, I'll take it and then I'll stitch them together to form the cup that I will use to cover my already made bra cups. So I'll go and do that now. And then the lining, I'm just going to join the lining together. I'm not going to add anything to it. So I'll do that and then come back and show you how to fix it on the space there. Okay guys, so after stitching, so you can see how it looks like. So I'm going to take my cups like this. It's a simple process. So because it is well done, so you can see the shape came out already. So I'll take this back to my machine now, and then I'm going to place them. So you can use hemming gum. You can place hemming gum inside and iron it. So it is very simple way of doing this. So I'm just going to take this back to my machine, and then I'm going to flat it open, and then I'll stitch it down, making sure as I stitch I'll pull along like this. So I have a video on how to do this. I'm going to drop the link on the description box so you can see. It is a simple process. Just stretch it out open and then stitch it down. That's it. So I'll do that and then bring it back and show you. Okay guys, so you can see my bra cup. So I fixed one already. So I'm going to show you how to fix it. It's a simple process. So the first thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to take the edge. So if you notice, you can see the way I stitched. I left a little bit of allowance around my bra cup, so it's very easy that way. So I'm trying to mark the center, and then I'll mark the center on this point also. And then I'm going to take those 2 points, I'll match them together. So that's actually where I'm going to start stitching from. So when doing this, you have to be very, very, very careful. So you don't. So I'm going to take it. So I'm trying to place it. Let it be on the exact point. So I'll just finish it up. So I've stitched the first one. So it looks okay. The first thing I'm going to check before I continue, I'm going to check to make sure that both of them are staying on the same point. That one is no longer than one, okay? So I think I'm good to go. So the next thing, I'm just going to finish this up, and then the lining also, I'll couple the lining just the way I did this, and then I'll bring it back and show you how it looks like. So I'm going to start stitching from this side also. So you can see after stitching also, this is what I have now. So I'm going to remove it so you can see. So I've shaped the down, just I just highlighted it more, and then I'm going to take my, so this is my lining. You can see it is a simple process, and then I'm going to join them together like this. So I'll just place it together like this, so you can see, and then I'll sew it round. So for the top part, I'm going to sew the top, but I'll leave a little bit of space here because I'm going to add a sleeve. That's a rope. That is like a rope to it. So I'm going to do that. So that's what I'll do. I'll do both the back and the front, and then I'll bring them back and show you. Okay guys, so I finished stitching my pieces together, all of the pieces. So this is the back, the inbuilt and the loops that like I've said. So the next thing, so this is the back piece. So you can see I left space here that I'm going to attach the sleeve. So for the sleeve, I made 4 ropes of about 20 inches. So these are what I'm going to attach, just like the picture. So I'm going to place them inside, and then I left a little bit of opening here also where I will put it and then stitch it. So for the corset, that's for the inbuilt, this is how I'm going to place it here. So you know it's going to lap like this on top of each other. So I'll place them. This is going to stay like this, and then this stays like this. So at the end of the day, after wearing it, you are going to use this to snatch the waist from the inside together. Okay, so after that, I'm going to take, so this is the front piece now. You can see after turning how it looks like, and then I'm going to place them here, and everything, whatever I do, I'm just going to make sure that on this edge like this they correspond here. So make sure it corresponds. That's so I left a little bit of opening here, so I'm going to put the rope close here before I do this. So when I'm done, I'll just push this in, and then I'll use my stitching allowance, but I'll make sure that the back, this side aligns with this part. So I'm just going to have only my basque left. So I'll do that, just stitch that, just like I explained, and then I'll bring it back and show you so you can see we are done already. Okay guys, so at the end of the day, you can see how our corset looks like. It came out fine, our off shoulder corset. So thank you so much. If you find this video helpful, please hit on the like button, and if you have not subscribed to my channel already, please subscribe. Thank you so much. I will see you in my next video. The next time you are going to see me rocking this dress on my shorts.